Welcome to Insight Marketing Success, the podcast where marketing knowledge meets real-world experience, from vision to execution.
Hi, Taylor. Thank you for being a guest today on IMS, Insight Marketing Success. I had the opportunity to meet with you, but for our audience, tell us who you are.
Yeah. Hi, I am an attorney. I have a law firm, so I guess I'm also a business owner. And I have two businesses, and we essentially help on the law firm side. We help businesses, entrepreneurs, and founders get their legal protections in place. And then we do that on the template side as well, just at more affordable, accessible ways of doing so.
Wonderful. So tell us about your education and how did you get the journey from this to getting your own firm?
Yeah, I went to undergrad on the East Coast and then came back to Los Angeles to come to law school and spent 3 years in law school in downtown LA, and then went out of law school, worked for a couple law firms, did civil litigation, mix of different types of law, and didn't really ever settle on an area that I loved a lot. I really wanted to be able to kind of pick what I wanted to do, clients that I wanted to work with. So eventually went out on my own 4.5 years after graduating, and we're going to be, I think we're almost 7 years now that I've been operating on my own. So it's been really fun.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So tell us about that journey when you decided to start your own business and, go from being an employee to getting your own company. How did you brand yourself? How obviously it was a big challenge, and how did you start that journey?
Yeah, I saw that there were other attorneys doing essentially what I wanted to do, and they were really utilizing social media, specifically Instagram at the time, to market their businesses, which also made sense because their target audience was using Instagram to sell their products and services. So everybody was kind of like coexisting in the same place, and I saw an opportunity to be able to market ourselves in the social space, and that really did work out for us. And so really just like lived there for a long time, and then just kind of branched out with other kind of social media marketing, organic ways of selling the firm and getting the word out. But that's really kind of where I started.
Okay, so Instagram was your channel, social
Yeah.
media. Yeah. All right. Very good. Now, in the process of doing other marketing or other campaigns or other things that didn't work as well, tell us about something that didn't work as well, but you learned something.
Yeah. I mean, we've tried a couple different paid versions of marketing. We've tried social media ads that sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It really is hit and miss sometimes for us. We've also tried just general kind of like sponsorships. Sometimes those work very well, and sometimes they don't if they're not targeted to the right audience. So I am not an expert in marketing at all, but we've gotten a lot better with how we approach that. I do all of our marketing, so it's a trial and error process that it's been for
Okay,
me.
very good. Is there a specific project where you expected this much and you received this much?
I mean, we've been part of events specifically that we've been sponsors for that either just didn't go through, not to anybody's fault. It's been funding that got yanked. Sometimes we speak to specific communities and like we never see any clients from that. I mean, sometimes ad campaigns like totally flop just because they weren't either done well or it's a busy time of year. Black Friday is notoriously very difficult to get anything through. Yeah, sometimes it's tough.
Okay. How do you approach storytelling in your brand communications?
I initially kind of consulted with a marketing person who told me early on that I needed to give people insight on me, like as a person. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do that. No, people don't want to know that. And she was totally right. People needed to, especially from a lawyer, need it really. I mean, the people that we work with wanted to see like who I am and what I do day to day and like on a personal basis, kind of what I'm like, just because hiring somebody in that position can be kind of scary. So that's what we started with.
Yes, and I saw that in the front page, and I have to agree with whoever gave you that advice. It's very good advice. People search for connections, and when you talk about being the mother too, having a dog and so forth, like she's a person for real. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very good. Okay. What's the biggest trend you see today in marketing in your field?
I think there's a lot of opportunity because I feel like I do it and other attorneys I know that do it. So I feel like it happens more than it does. But I think in legal specifically, there's huge opportunities to create some sort of presence that's a little bit more personable than what standard law firms are doing. It's unexpected. I think clients are more willing to hear about you. They want to hear about you. And just brand messaging across the board, I think, has gotten to a point where everybody kind of want to know like who's the founder, who's behind this. You can kind of live behind like a brand name and brand identity for a while, but people really want to know like who's behind the business.
Yeah, I agree with you. So again, going into the core of the person, the character of that person. All right. So let's start talking about who would be the ideal client for your firm, for legal firm.
Yeah, I mean, I love all of our clients, but some of our best clients are therapists. Therapists of color. I just love working with therapists specifically because they come to us kind of knowing, like, I know I need to get legally protected. They're ready to spend money on it. I don't have to do too much convincing. Like they come in already kind of knowing this is very important. And I also very much appreciate the work that they do and just the type of people that they are. It's very fun for me to work with therapists. I love them.
All right, therapist in what field? Like physical therapist?
Oh, mental health.
Oh, mental health. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mental health. All right. Very good. And you help anybody in California or which
We
states?
can we can do a number of different projects all across the U.S. There is some projects that we can only do in California, but for example, trademarks we help with clients all over the U.S.
Okay. Okay, very good. All right, let's talk about Taylor and the character. So let's imagine you go to a restaurant and you're eating and you're in one of those booths where you are back to back and you cannot see who's in front of you or behind you, but the people behind you start talking about you and you hear your name and you realize it's your three best friends. What would be the three things that you would hope they say about you?
Man, that's a good question. I would hope that they would say that they can trust me. I would hope that if they were talking about me, it was good things. And I think I would also really love if they mentioned something to the effect of like I either made them feel good about themselves or like I was able to support them with something. Basically, that I'm a positive influence in their life.
Okay, you and I both know that life has its rainbows and unicorns, and there are times that is gloomy. And when it gets gloomy and you combine things from personal and professional, how do you stay grounded?
I mean, now I have a 18-month-old who helps keep me grounded because when I'm stressed about work stuff, I just kind of hang with her and I'm like, all right, as long as you're good and healthy and happy. But prior to having her, I did a lot of journaling and just like getting outside and getting some fresh air. I know that sounds cliche, but sometimes you like are cooped up and just working, 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 and like you just need to go outside and take a breather.
Yeah, go to a park, go for a
Mhm.
walk. All right, so let's imagine that you're able to whisper something in your ear when you graduated from law school and you say, okay, Taylor, be aware of this, or what kind of advice would you give yourself when you just graduated?
I would tell myself that working for myself is definitely an option I should consider. I definitely was not considering that in the slightest in during law school or even after law school for quite some time. And I just had preconceived notions about it. I just never was interested in it. So I think I would at least give myself the opportunity to think about it. I don't know that I'd go out on my own immediately, but I think I would probably tell myself to be more open to the possibility.
Wonderful. All right. You are still young, and but you are building your name, you're building your brand. What do you want your brand and your legacy to be as you move forward?
I would really love to be able to be some sort of conduit between legal protections, the legal system, and making things more accessible or educating on all the complexities that come with legal and navigating that whole process. I think there's lots of ways to do that, for lawyers to do that, to educate on that, but I would love for people to know and remember that we assisted in that process. I know that I can't change it by myself overnight, but I really love when people tell us that we made something easier to learn or easier to understand it's like speaking a language, and I think I'm able to be a translator in that way, and I very much am grateful for that role.
Oh, thank you. Is there anything else you want our audience to know about you?
Oh man, I feel like I overshare way too much on social media. So I feel like if there's anything that people wanted to know, I've probably said it. But actually, I think people assume that I'm a little bit more extroverted than I am. I'm very actually introverted and keep to myself in real life. I just post a lot of things online, partially to market the business, but partially because it has become fun to share. But I think people are expecting me to be like this loud personality, and I'm not.
Great. Taylor, thank you very much for coming today to IMS and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Insight Marketing Success, where marketing knowledge meets real-world experience from vision to execution.